session. If no, maybe I would encourage you guys to do some hands-on on the whatever has been we are going to, in this class, so that you will get more knowledge around it, right? So now let me present my screen. Hope my screen is visible, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yep, thanks. Okay, now guys, today we will so yesterday we talked about this Azure Data Factory, right? How basically we talked the what is the main purpose of ADF, right? Let me just go to that slide first, right? What is the main purpose of ADF, right? It's a basically cloud-based ETL tool, right? With which we can extract data from the multiple sources, transform it, and load to the sync site, right? That sync site could be, so in this case, you can extract data from the within Azure, outside of Azure, right? On-prem, anywhere, and even you can load data within Azure and even outside of Azure, right? So that's how this ADF provide all these options for us. Now, next thing is what are the key usage of ADF, right? We talk about the data ingestion, right? Data orchestration. When you are creating the pipelines, right? And one pipeline is calling another one, so you wanted to see that orchestration properly, right? When there is a complex data flow, then ADF can help in that. Of course, data transformation, data movement, and the monitoring. What are all the pipelines that you guys build? You wanted to see if pipeline runs, for how many time it run, right? If pipeline fail, then we should know. So for that purpose, we also have the monitoring tab as well, right? And yesterday we seen this incremental data ingestion strategy, wherein the way we did, right? We load data for day 1, day 2, day 3 in let's say our storage account, and we made the changes in such a way so that in sync side, let me just add one marker over here. So that in sync side, in Gen2 data lake, I should get data for today's date only. So that sort of things we did from the storage account to the sync side Gen2 data lake, right? Similarly for the SQL DB as well, right? We added data in SQL DB year wise, but we make changes in such way with the help of our activities, so that in a sync side we should get only 2025 data, but you can further change it in a such way that, okay, I want to get data for today's date only. So all this incremental data ingestion is possible with the help of different activities that we are having in ADF, right? So today we'll covering the few of the session, like proc execution, right? If I have, let's say, some proc created, right? You can even proc is nothing but a store procedure in any database. When you create a store procedure, right? And if you wanted to execute that store procedure with the help of ADF, then yes, it's possible with the help of ADF activity. Then we also have this we'll also go to cross cloud data movement. So let's say data is on another cloud and you wanted to move that data into our Azure. How to do that, right? So that part also we will be covering. Then ADF notebook dependency. One notebook. So currently we seen one activity is calling another activity, but what about one notebook, right? When that notebook execute with the help of some code that we have written over there, and once that notebook finish, how to pass output of that notebook to the next notebook, so that next notebook can take action on top of that, right? So those sort of things we'll be covering. And then what is system assign manage identity and user assign manage identity, those part we'll be covering today, right? So let me go to the portal, right? So first of all, guys, what I will do, I will create. So to show the proc, right? First of all, I need to create a database, right? And in that database, I will be creating one proc. I will explain what's the purpose of that proc, and then I will be showing you how to create activity to execute that particular proc. So let me. I already have one ADF pipeline. I can let me use same, but I think before that, for this demo, we will be also needing one database. So let's create that one. Okay, I hope I use this SQL DB only. Okay, so I'm using SQL DB. I create the SQL. I'm clicking on just create SQL database, right? Of course, it would ask me the couple of questions, right? What resource group you wanted to be part of, username, demo user, right? Server. So each database, whenever you are creating any database, you need to create one server. So this server name was not available. So now, okay, we have this server name is available. A region I wanted to keep US East. Okay, I wanted to enable both SQL based authentication and these things. Let me first of all select myself as admin. Logged in name. I'm just giving it a random name over here. Then a password. Okay. Now let me create it. The server would get create first, right? So now we have this demo elite server I have created, right? And then here I just wanted to use a development purpose. I don't have any production workload. We are just learning. For that purpose, I am creating the serverless. I told you in earlier class, right? Serverless usage of serverless is more cost effective, right? It separate your compute and storage differently, and that's why people generally prefer to use serverless, right? And let it be other things as it is locally redundant. Then public endpoint. I just wanted to make this database for demo purpose publicly available. In real case, you will be not making this public in base cases, but just for demo purpose, I am making it a public endpoint and enabling this that I want my current IP to be already whitelisted in that access range so that I can access that database, right? Then I'm moving to the next part, security, additional settings, tag, review, create. Now this database deployment may take some time. So let wait for this, guys. Uh, Meanwhile, this deploy, guys, I already have one ADF factory. Do you want me to create a new ADF factory from the scratch, or it's comfortable for you now? In earlier class, we created one right from the scratch. Should I create new one, or what do you think?
Sir, we are good with this one, existing
Right.
one.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm.
So let me open this. So earlier we create one data factory. I will just open it. You click on the pipeline. This is so whenever you will be creating any data factory, you will be having this author icon. So to create the pipelines, this is the symbol that you need to go. And now let me guys create one new. There are other pipeline as well. You can just ignore those for now. Let me create a new pipeline. So before that, let me see if my server get created. Meanwhile, this deploy, let me even try to create my AWS account. Here I am just trying to connect my AWS account, guys, because in one of the today's session, we'll be talking about that one as well. Okay, next. Okay, let it be. It will open now. Okay, now my deployment got is ready. I will go to this demo user database, right? Now to access any database, right? You need to. So generally, guys, see, if you see, I enable the both authentication, SQL-based authentication and AD-based intra authentication as well, right? So if in sometime in organization, people generally prefer to use only intra-based only, but just for demo purpose, I enable both authentication. So I'm just let's say login failed. Demo user. It should not fail. Let me refresh, guys. Ideally, this should not fail because this is only password that I have here. No, maybe I need to just drop this. Otherwise, it will get some more problem for me. Let me drop this database. Authenticate, try to see. If this not work, maybe let's delete. I think some password issue here. Let me drop and then recreate. Let me delete database as well. Okay, I think it would automatically drop. So just wait, guys. We will create some another resource. Meanwhile, this, let me get the SQL DB. Okay, now let me again create this SQL DB. I will quickly create it. Demo resource group. This is database name. Create a server. Server name, right? The server name is available, and then let me use both admin test. Let me copy this, my test user. Right, so password match. Let me set myself as admin. Let me create an OK. Development workload I wanted to go with, right? I don't want it to go with production based workload. And then general purpose serverless I will be using. Locally redundant is fine for me. Let me click on next. Public endpoint I wanted to enable. And I also wanted to make my client IP to access it. And I will go on next security part. Let the other thing be as it is, right? Tags, UN create. So when you are creating any database, guys, just repeating, right? It have some cost associated with it. So there is some storage cost, right? It show how much storage cost per month you will get, and there is plus core cost as well. The amount of processing that you do, that much of cost you need to bear. Just to add few point, guys, right? When it's deploying, right? I'm now creating the most of the services by just creating next, right? So in sometime of course we go with this option as well, but people also use ARM template as well, right? So when I'm creating ADF pipeline, in maybe in one of the section, I will show you that let's say I have already pipeline built, right? Entire pipeline build. Let's say these entire pipelines I have built, right? How to, and if I wanted to move this entire pipeline, I wanted to create this entire pipeline in another ADF, let's say, right? Let's say this is a dev ADF, and now I wanted to build this entire pipeline in a prod ADF account. How to do that, right? So those section maybe we'll cover in a bit in upcoming lecture. So how to export the template, right? They call it as an ARM template, how to export template, and then with the help of just import button. So basically, when I export this particular template, I will get entire all the pipeline as a JSON in JSON format, and then I need to import that in another ADF account, so that I can get all these pipeline ready just by importing the things. So maybe just giving heads up, maybe in upcoming class we will talk more detail on that. So I'm hopeful that now this should work. GitHub, yes, basically, see, we can even integrate this with GitHub. So ADF pipeline, whatever you have, right? We can integrate with GitHub, and from dev to prod. So it's like you integrate with the way we do, right? In GitHub, you first of all create the branch out of dev, right? Let's say dev feature branch, right? And then from the feature branch, you move the data to the you move your code to the dev branch, right? And from dev to the prod. So that thing also possible. That integration is required, Calvin. Hope that answer your question. Okay. So now my test user is there. Thank God. Okay. Now I logged into my database. Now, guys, since we need to create the proc, I have this proc ready. I will just maybe quickly. It's a simple create table and all. I will just explain those things. Let me just first of all copy those things in my editor. So see, it's a simple thing, right? I'm just creating product with the ID, name, and all these details, right? And then I'm just inserting data into my product. These are all the data, right? Now here just I have this all the product name and their prices, create date and category and all these things, right? Then in the sales also, I have sales ID, product ID. There is a foreign key constraint between our basically our sales and product table. So that also is there, right? Just for your reference. And then I'm inserting data into the sales table as well, wherein I have sales ID, product ID, and other details. So first of all, guys, let me execute this thing. So when you'll be creating proc, you should have at least some table and data ready, right? On top of that only you will be executing your proc. So I created this table now, right? These two table, select star from, right? So I'm seeing this data for sales one, and similarly for product as well. For product also, you can see all the data is there. Now, guys, now it's time to create one proc. So before creating the proc, I will create one table. What this table is talking, it's a product sales summary, right? I just wanted to see that first of all, I will create this table, and then I will talk about what's the purpose of this table. So I wanted to get how many product sales and its summary, right? Wherein I have created this table with this definition, right? Product ID, product name, how many total quantity has been sold, total amount, and sale rate, and all these things, right? So now, guys, let me create one store procedure. So in generally, in organization, people still have their lots of they are still processing their data with the proc as well, because there are best way earlier was to process data is with the help of proc, right? Though people are moving from the proc to new technology like data frame and all, right? But still there are proc. So what people sometimes do, they execute their proc with the help of this ADF activity or Synapse proc activity, so that they can generate insight from their database, and that's how they migrate from the let's say legacy based application to at least a new application, wherein now they are integrating their solution with the ADF, right, and making it highly available and those things. So now, so I will explain this proc guys to you. So see, whenever you are creating proc, right, you need to just create procedure, and what is the procedure name that you need to give, right? This is a pro, and then as, right, then begin. First of all, you need to begin with the what you wanted to mention in the proc, right? You remember I just create one table. In this case, I just wanted to delete whatever data I have previously persisted. So that's why that's why I'm adding this truncate statement. Then insert into my table name, which I just created above, right? The, these are all the columns of my that new table that wherein I wanted to insert. I insert into select. I'm just running one select query on my two table. Which two table? Product and sales. On what basis I'm joining product with my product ID with the sales dot product ID, group by group by I'm doing just product ID and product name, right? And based on that, I'm just trying to get the sum of the quantity, sum of the total amount, and max of created. So that's thing I am doing. So if I just run this clause, right, guys, it should show me some data, right? Currently, I'm just running the select clause. So same data when I'm running via proc, I should see in my destination table, which is this one. So uh, let me create this proc first of all. Any question, guys, on a proc? Someone is not compatible, not yet gone through those things. Any question? Maybe I can further elaborate it.
No, sir.
Okay. So basically, it's a in proc. What I'm doing, I'm just selecting the two table, applying the group by, and just applying some doing some group by, and applying some aggregation function here. Nothing fancy over here, right? The simple group by and aggregation operation I'm doing. Now let me go to the EDF pipeline. I'm creating the new EDF pipeline. Let me give the name as a uh, proc execution, right? So here we have the store procedure, right, as one of the activity. Now, guys, I'm just giving this name as a store procedure, right? Let description be as it is, not needed. Link service. So first of all, to connect to that proc, you need to create a link service, right? So let me, sorry, I think, yeah, link service. Let me create again on link service. It should show me the link service options. Hmm. Right. So by default, it giving me Amazon IDS, but I think that's something Microsoft need to look into. It should show which database I need to wanted to connect to. In my case, I wanted to connect to Azure database, right? So I am clicking on Azure database, then subscription. This is my server name. This is my database name, right? SQL based authentication, my username, and then my password. Let me click on a test connection. Ideally, this should succeed. So connection succeed. Let me create OK. So moment I create these things, it should show me, see, the proc that I have created, it's appear over here, right? So dbu is the by default schema, and there I have now this proc is available. Let me publish these guys. So meanwhile it get published. Let me show you that database, right? Wherein you remember I have created one, this database. Currently, I don't have any data available in this database, right? Now let me execute this proc. Publish successful. So it show it succeeded, right? It succeeded, and in output activity is something that build duration and all. Let me now go to this database. Let's see if I got some data, right? So this is how, guys, you can use ADF proc activity. Now, in our case, I just use only one proc just to show demo purpose, right? But in organization or company, what they do, they have multiple procs ready, and those procs are like huge, like it contain 1,000 lines of script. I have seen those sort of procs wherein more than 1,000 lines of PL sequels and those things are there. So one proc is calling. So the way people do in organization, based on a success of one proc, they call another proc, and then that's how they process data from one layer to another layer. If this is for the organization who are more into the store procs and all, right? But there are organization as well who deal the same data, deal the same things with the help of data frame and other things. So just this is how in organization mostly people process data, guys. Just I wanted to show you this one of the activity, the proc. Any question on proc side? How to execute the proc activity with help of ADF? Something not clear or anything?
Yes, sir. No.
Okay. Now, guys, let it be. I will discard these changes. So currently, I just want only one proc to be there. Now, guys, quickly let's talk about the. I have one major thing to cover today, that is ADF pipeline dependency notebook, basically ADF notebook dependency, right? So let me now show you, before going to that, let me show you S3 bucket creation and cross cloud data transfer. So first of all, before creating S3 bucket, let me talk few point on S3 bucket. Okay. So guys, what is Amazon S3, right? S3 is a simple storage service, right? It's a highly scalable, durable, basically, and it's secure object in AWS, right? Whatever data that you are putting, it's highly secure, and apart from that, you can retrieve that data. You can upload any amount of data, and you can retrieve also same from your whatever the S3 endpoint is, right? The key features of S3, like it's a object-based storage, right? You can upload anything like folder files, any file format or anything, right? Word document, anything, structure, unstructured, semi-structure. You can even take a snapshot of VM and upload that to the S3. So it accept any sort of data, any object sort of data. Then unlimited scalability, right? You once you create a S3 bucket, there is no limit. Okay, I have that much of space. You can terabyte or petabyte of data you can upload there. So that's not a limit. Of course, you need to pay the cost for that, right? So it's a highly scalable, highly durability, right? That means your data is always durable. The way they develop S3, let's say it show 99.119 durability. What does that mean? You will be having your data always available. So what they do internally, when you upload any, let's say, object, any file into the S3, they make it highly available in across the various regions, various availability zone, and that's how, if one of the region or one of the availability zone get failed, you will be still having your data available, right? Then there are multiple storage classes, flexible storage classes in S3: S3 standard, S3 intelligent tiering, and S3 glacier. So S3 standard is nothing but the this class. When you are uploading any file into the S3, uh, uh, if it would go to the by default frequent access S3 standard, right? So that you can quickly access it and do whatever operation that you wanted to. Then there is another class that is S3 intelligent tiering. what it do based on your access pattern. So if S3 analyze whatever data you put in S3 and how frequently you are using it. If you it see if you are accessing it frequently, then it would move to the S3 frequent tier. Otherwise, it move to the S3 glacier and all, right? In frequent tier basically. So that sort of things available in S3 intelligent tiering, and then S3 glacier. So I know that okay, this data I will be using, let's say once in twice in a month or 6 in a month, right? So that sort of data files will be moving to the S3 glacier. Now the security part, data, whatever data we are storing in S3 in transit and in a rest, everything is encrypted. What's the meaning of it? When you're uploading any file in S3, right? When you're uploading any file in S3, the moment data get flow right from your endpoint to the S3, this entire thing is encrypted, and whatever data is stored in S3, it also encrypted with the help of S3 keys and all, right? IAM policy, of course, we seen one of the earlier scene, right? Who can access files and all. You can apply on top of your bucket policy also. You can apply that who can access this bucket and all these things, right? ACS, access control list, that also is part of security only. This all thing allow IAM policy, bucket policy, and ACS allow who can access it, which service can access it, who can access means which individuals can access it, and then services. Let's say I want my EC2 bucket, EC2 instance to access my S3 bucket. So that sort of policy I need to attach to my EC2 instance. So those sort of things are also possible. And it's a cost effective, guys, first, apart from that. If you think about S3, it's a cost effective, right? It's automatically so intelligent tiering we were talking about, right? Based on your usage pattern, it automatically tier data, move data from the hot to the cold to the warm storage, right? So that sort of things is available in S3, and then easy integration with another other AWS services. So in future we'll be talking about the Lambda and S3 use cases and AWS Glue and S3 use case Athena. So you can the services that we have in Azure, they are easily integrated with S3 so that you can do your operation, you can read your data and process your data. So that sort of things, right? So that's a high level on S3, guys. Let me now create one S3 bucket. I'm going to my portal. Okay, now I'm logged in with div-k. Let me click on S3. So now what I will be doing, guys, we'll be creating one S3 bucket, and then how to move data from S3 to our Gen2 account, that I will demo to you. See, in organization, people don't just stay in one cloud. Okay, we are using AWS, or of course, in one project will be using AWS, right? But in organization, there are multiple projects, right? And some project stick to AWS, some projects stick to Azure, right? And other things. So sometime what happen, we have the requirement that okay, we want to do some data analysis, and data could be anywhere, right? Data could be on AWS, right? And they wanted to move all this data from AWS to the Gen2 account, that is Azure Gen2 account, and then apply some analytics. So that sort of these are the common use case in industry, right? So we'll be covering one of that, how to move data between cross cloud. So I'm just creating my S3 bucket. Let's see if this should be available. So first of all, I click on S3 bucket, right? Create bucket, the general purpose, right? I wanted to use general purpose bucket, right? So basically, it's standard bucket. I wanted to create with the standard access, right? So what I have mentioned over here, right? The standard frequent access. There is also option directory and all. We'll be covering in later part of the course. These are mostly is like creating the directory in S3 bucket and all. So for now, click create the general purpose bucket. So I'm just give the bucket name ACL disables, right? currently I don't want anyone to access my bucket, so that's why I have disabled my ACLs. It's an access control list. I want my bucket to be private. Block all public access. I don't want anyone outside of Word can access, because whatever data I'm putting there, anyone can access, right? So I wanted to disable all public access, right? Uh, and then bucket versioning. What is this, guys? When you are creating the bucket, right, and you will be uploading some files over there. If you edit some file, right, then that means you are creating the new version of file. And what if you wanted to revert back to the original version? If you wanted to enable that, you can do that, right? The way we do, right, in code, we revert back to the original code, right? If something goes wrong with our latest code, right? So that sort of things, it's available. It's called versioning in S3 bucket. Of course, if you enable it, it come up with its own cost, but for testing purpose, we will disable it, right? Tag optional. You can just give the tags or ignore it. It's just for naming purpose. And encryption. Earlier slide we talk, right? S3 entire data in S3 is secured at a rest. How is secure? With the help of these keys. There are multiple keys. Uh, uh, so currently we will go with the keys that S3 manage, so that we don't need to take care of the keys, right? And keys policy and all these things. So these other option are more on a key that you created, right, and upload to Azure AWS key managed services, right, key managed services and all, and then use that key to encrypt your data. So those part will be not going with. We'll be using. We are allowing S3 only to handle its own key to secure my data, right? And now let me create bucket. Okay, is this okay? It's show already available. Squared. So S3 bucket name should be it should be unique. Otherwise, it will not create it. So we got that error. That's why. Okay. Now it show bucket has been created successfully. Okay. This is the bucket I have created, right? AWS cross cloud and elite. Now let me click on this bucket and let me upload few files over there, guys. What I will do. I have some files. Add files. Let me click on add files. Okay. And let me upload these two files. I'm clicking on upload. Now, guys, I have uploaded these two files, right? Now I wanted to access, right, S3 from my Azure. So for that, I need to create some authentication, right? Because these are two different cloud provider. How one can access another one without some authentication technique and all. So for that purpose, one of the way is creating IAM role. In earlier lecture, we talk about, right, the roles and all. So I'll be creating one IAM role over here. Yeah, right, Kelvin. So as SFTP, so your question is, let me just go to your question. So SFTP is basically protocol. Uh, so, uh, exactly what you are trying to say. So it's a secure file transfer protocol. So it's like, see, whenever you are moving data from any, let's say now this example, right? Whatever data we are moving from one location to another location, it's by default going into the SFTP only, Secure File Transfer Protocol. So that's why it's a data in transit and in a rest, everything is encrypted with the help of some secure key. Is that what you are looking, or something else? Okay, FTP file. Maybe in one of the session I will maybe cover if let's say file is in some FTP path, right, and how to move that file from one location to another location. So yeah, we'll be covering, Kelvin. So basically, it's a file share, right? So what we can do, we can create the file share, and right, and from that file share, we can so S3 and other things are also there, but file share also is one of the option, right? You can upload your data into some file share, and then you can move data from one location to another location by connecting to that particular file share and move data from that place to your location wherever you want. So we'll be covering, yeah. Now let me create. Okay, I am on basically I am dashboard. Let me create on a roles, right? Okay, so let me create on a user first. Okay, let me first of all I need to create a user and then assign to role. So that's why I move to the user. S3 is the access. Okay, so it's S3 and Azure account access. I just giving this as a username. I don't want, see, now this is the programmatic access. I don't want this user to get any console access and all. So that's why I not checked it. I'm clicking on the next. Right now, what permission I wanted to attach to this one? Right? Let me click on attach policies, right? And then S3 full access. So whatever user I have created, right? I gave that user S3 full access. I'm clicking on next, right? And then create user. Now user got created. Let me click on this user. Right now, guys, since I wanted to connect from Azure to S3, I wanted to create the access key, right? I will create access key, application running outside of AWS, right? And then I will create on next. Let other thing be ignore, and I will use now this access key in my ADF. So now in my I am in my guys. I hope you can see my ADF screen, right? Can you see data ingestion demo V1? Okay, thank. So let me create on new pipeline, and then give S3 access. Now copy data, right? Activity, because I wanted to move data from S3 to our Gen2 account. I click on a source. I click on first of all, if I wanted to connect any other account, I need to create a data set. I click on new data set and I select the Amazon S3. My files are in CSV. I click on those, right? Now the link service I need to click, right? Before creating link service, let me disable this first row as a header, right? And then access key. Whatever access key I got from there, I put in my access key tab. Now I am in my AWS console. I copied that access key and I put that access key in my I took my secret key as well and I put that secret key here as well. Now guys, let's try to test this connection. You see connection got successful. Now my S3 account can now connect, my AWS account can now connect to my S3 account. So now guys, let me just cross cloud. I will just use this one, cross cloud. This is a bucket I have created, right? AWS cross cloud elite. And let is other thing as it is, right? And at a sync side, guys, I will just use other thing. Let it be as it is. At a sync side, I will use my any existing Gen2 account, storage of Gen2 account, for example. Then CSV as the file format, link service, demo, storage account, elite Gen2 account. Let me just guys see if I have already those file available. If yes, I will just maybe delete. Okay, elite Gen2 account. I wanted to move data to container. In the storage account, I just go into the specific container. And then here I will see data set, for example, files. Let me remove these two files, right? And I will upload over here only. So I deleted, right? It's elite Gen2 account, data set and files. To account. Let me test connection first of all. Successful. Data sets and files. I'm just creating it as it is. File name I wanted to give dynamic in nature. So now guys, I think let's give it a try to run. If this successful, we should see data from S3. We are moving to the our Azure data lake. Copy one file path folder name is required. Parameter over here. Okay, it's saying the file name is required. Let me create the parameter in this section. The moment I create the parameter, it should show me file name. Let me create on OK. Right. Then ideally it should not talk about this file name. Source side. Okay, let's do one thing at the sync side. I will right. Maybe we'll go with this approach instead of writing a because we don't have any for loop or any that sort of things, right? I wanted to move entire data whatever in S3 wanted to move over here. So what I will do in I will use wildcard file path, right? So whatever the data that I am having in my S3 account, I wanted to move over here. So currently I directly upload it into this account, right? I haven't created any folder. If I just search, sorry. If I just click S3 first of all, let me show you guys. So currently water data I have put in S3, I directly upload it into one of the folder that we have created. I haven't created any subdirectory there. But if it's prompt, we'll see, we'll create that thing. So, okay, I have uploaded directly there. So I will not give this wildcard folder path, but let's see if it take that way, right? Let me run it. And file name was not found, right? So let's do one thing now. Instead of this way, I will create some folder. So when you are deleting the file, it asks you that, okay, you just need to type this permanently delete and all. Now my file got deleted. Let me now close over here. Let me go once again that I'm in now AWS cross cloud elite folder. Let me basically bucket. Let me create some folder over here. Files. Okay. Let me create these folders. And then in this folder, then now I will upload these files. Let me click on add files. I have uploaded these two files over here. It's a files, right? Let me go here. Files, and then so basically in bucket, I have this files folder, right? And now at the sync side, I don't think I need to give anything over here. Let me try to run. Parameter file name was not found to deliver text. Okay, right. So earlier I created that these things. I don't need to give these things now. You remember earlier I created the parameter, but now in this case parameter not required because I have deleted from here. Let's try now. So I think it's started. Okay, what is said? it's showing, it's saying that not exist, but whereas it's there. Let me click on open. Then let me click on edit. Test connection we already did, it's happening. Okay. Directly, right? Files. Files is a directory name. Let me, if I just browse these guys, okay, now this is the better way. This way to ensure that we are directly pointing to the folder structure and all. Earlier, you remember files folder I have not created, so that's why it's complaining that okay, it's not available. And since I have not published my changes, that's why I think it's took the old changes only. Right. Let me publish it. Let's try to run once again. See if it work in this time. Right, it's filling. It's showing that it's saying that this source not available. I already have S3 data set. Data source. The error says no slot files elite. Let me try to create, maybe I don't think we need to create a new one because already I can directly connect here and see the okay files did. Oh my bad. You guys, have you guys got reason for that? Maybe I have just click on a file bucket and not upload those files. That's why I think we couldn't see it. So now let me click on a browse. First of all, let me do refresh because unless I do refresh, I should not be able to see the files which I have uploaded in S3 bucket. So guys, when you do real, means hands-on, these are all the challenges that you should see, and that's how you can explain that. Okay, you because in recorded session it's fine, right? You get entire thing in a clear way, but when you do hands-on, you would see some challenges, right? And how you solve them. That's something when you go to the interview wanted to ask to you, right? Cross. I just click on my S3 bucket in my from the data set, right? Files. Okay, now you remember earlier it was not showing those files. Now, now it should, now it's showing, right? Now let's see if these things work now. So it's started, copy data activity started now. Okay, it shows succeed now. So let click on a, first of all, the output button, right? It's, you see that it show that data return. Now let me go to the data set, our this one, right? We delete it from here. And this how now we get data just now from our S3 bucket. So for example, guys, I just give you two notebook, right? But imagine two CSV file, right? But in real world, you might see that okay, you have petabyte of data and you wanted to move the data from one cloud, AWS to S3 to Gen 2, or vice versa, from Gen 2 account to the AWS S3, right? So that sort of things clearly is always possible. And in most of the organization, people do this activity because they think that sometimes okay, they have some valuable data in S3 and they wanted to generate some insight, but their, let's say, data engineering team is mostly used to work on, let's say, ADF or Synapse sorted, right? So they move data from there to here, right? And vice versa as well, from even from Gen 2 data lake, right? They wanted to move their data to the basically S3, and then in S3 they have AWS Glue and EMR another technique, right, which can help you to process data and generate insight. So these are the common thing, guys. That's why I just thought that this would be helpful for you to know how the cross cloud migration happen on a data side, right? So that's another thing. Any question on these, guys, before I move to the next topic?
No, sir.
Okay. Guys, now I will cover. See, I have one this important topic, and maybe what I will do, this ADF notebook dependency. And in next session, when we'll be talking about notebook and all, maybe that time we can cover along with the Spark architecture and all right. So currently, let's go with this. You know now, till now, what are the whenever we are creating the data set, right? Whenever we are trying to connect to the any Gen 2 account, right? We give account key. So let me show that to you practically. I'll be now talking about the system managed identity and user managed identity. What are those? So before going to definition and all, let me show you a few things, guys. Let me create the pipeline. System managed identity, right? So guys, let me click on get metadata. So one of the activity I told you, right? The get metadata is an activity with which I can see, or let's say I wanted to see all the files which are available in my storage account. So get metadata can help, right? If I wanted to see all the files format which are available in my storage account. So for that activity, for those sort of things, get metadata activity help us. Now, guys, let me click on a new data set, right? Because I know that whenever I wanted to connect to any data set, any source, I need to create a data set for that, right? So I will be using just, let's say, this existing one of the storage account I wanted to connect to. My file format is this one. Now, guys, let me click on a link service. So till now, you guys mostly seen that I was always selecting. Okay, this is my store, let's say, storage account name, right? It loaded the key, right? The account authentication type was account key. If I do these things, it would succeed, right? But there are other authentication as well, right? Uh, uh, SaaS URL is people sometimes it's like the token based things. It's not well recommended, right? Anonymous is without authentication. You wanted to connect, that's also not recommended. Service principal is another case I will talk in later stage. But now first talk about, let's do two important thing, very important thing, right? System managed identity and user managed identity. So if I click on system assign managed identity and just click my subscription and my same storage account, let me click on test connection. Okay, in this case, since I think I already enable that authentication. Let me, for demo purpose, what I will do, I will create something new from the sketch so that you guys will understand. Otherwise, if I show here. Maybe you might not able to understand those things. Let me create a new storage account first of all. Okay. Storage accounts. Uh, Manage ID. Just any random name I am giving. Right. And then primary service log one. Let it be standard tier. And, and let me click on a next. Other thing I just wanted to keep as it is. You can create. I will create now my storage account. And now this storage account I wanted to connect via that get metadata activity. Go to resource. So this is the storage account that I have. Okay. Now let me go to the ADF part. And let me create a new pipeline. Get metadata. Settings. New. I wanted to connect to the one of the storage account. I will click on a continue. Right. I click the CSV and then uh, for authentication, I need to create the link service. So I'm using account key and then here I use my subscription name. So you see guys, even if I created just now, it not come over here. Maybe I need to refresh this page. So these are all the few something whenever you are trying to assign some let's say even this marriage identity and all, right? The moment let's say you create, it will not reflect at that moment. It would take some, let's say 5 minutes sometime in worst case, right, to reflect those changes. So that's what I see the challenges sometime in Azure. So now I have created this S3 bucket, sorry, is the storage account, but still I couldn't see that in my, when I do link, when I create the link service. Let me create the links, create a new pipeline, get metadata activity, create the new, I just don't need the header and all. Let me get the subscription demo. You see now it come after me doing refresh. It loaded the key. If I do this test connection, it should work, right? Now if I replace this test connection with the system assigned manage identity, when I click on a system assigned manage identity and click the same thing, it failed, right? Because I not give any access. So first of all, now going before going to any other detail, let me first of all show the difference between those things, right? Okay. So see, what is system assigned managed identity, right? So basically, if you have, let's say, one resource to talk to another resource, one of the best way would be to assign them So let me just take a marker. Okay, so when you are trying to connect one system to another system, best way to enable the system assign manage identity between them. So what does that mean? So my ADF is one let's say system, and my storage account is another system. I wanted to instead of me using any account key or any secret, right? I want to both them authenticate with the help of some identifier, that is system assigned manage identity, right? So for that purpose, it's a more secure way, right, rather than I'm using any SAS token or storing credential anywhere. If I use the system assigned manage identity, I don't need to worry about the lifecycle management of that particular secret, right? Because secret something got expired. How generally I do in case of system assign manage identity, let's say you have for example VM, right? Or in our case, right, we have one ADF, right? And then we are having storage account. Now I want both system to to know each other with the help of some authentication mechanism, that is system assign manage identity, right? So that I don't need to worry about secret and all, right? What's the benefit of it? Life cycle is managed automatically. Means the moment, let's say, I delete my ADF or storage account, that identity which created it get automatically deleted, right? And then system assign manage identity created per resource. So for ADF, I am creating one identity. For S3, I am sorry, AWS Gen 2 account or storage account, I am creating another identity, right? So it created per resource, right? And basically, it's a simple. In most cases, simple for simple use cases, people mostly prefer it, right? When you need the authentication between one-to-one resource, right? I'll be talking user assigned identity, wherein one to many and those things. So first of all, it's mostly for one-to-one resource authentication and all, right? So now, guys, let me just go to our. This is just quick definition. Stop. Yeah. Let me represent. So now you've seen. Okay, let me reshare my screen. Okay, so we got an error when I hope my screen is visible, guys, right? You can see my connection failure message.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now let's try to create a system assign manage identity, and let's try to authenticate with this one. Now for that, let me go to ADF. Okay, decision demo manage identity. So this is basically manage identity. Whenever you click on, let's say in data factory, you go to the settings and manage identity section, you would see your manage identity over here, right? Now how to give this manage identity access to storage account. So this is my storage account, right? To which I wanted to give access to. Now I will be creating on the IAM role, add role assignment. Because I want my when we are doing get method activity, right? Basically, you are dealing with your storage data, right? So I wanted to give storage blob data contributor role, right? So so there are multiple roles, right? Storage, blob, data contributor, reader, and all, right? When I'm doing get metadata, my activity needs some role, right? So what that role is? Storage, blob, data contributor role. And let me click on a manage identity. Right, earlier there is user group and service principal. Let's ignore for those for now. Let's see on manage identity. Now I click on manage identity. I go on a data factory, right? And this is my data factory. I will just select it. I will click on a review and assign. This object ID is nothing but whatever object ID you see over here, right? This is what the manage identity it was. So I think it's assigned now. Let me go to the rows assignment. You see, I give my ADF resource, right? Manage identity, storage, blob, data contributor role. Now, guys, uh, if I do test connection, let's see if it's work or no. It still fail, right? Let me just refresh. Because as I was telling you, right? Sometime this system, this manage identity and all this take time to reflect. Azure itself takes some time. So if you are creating sometime these IDs and all, you see why it's not working. Just we need to wait for some time. In worst case, they give the 5-minute duration, but sometime it can be even quicker. I'm creating on this connecting to the storage account CSV, and then creating the new link service. I'm giving the system assign manage identity. I'm creating my subscription, my storage account. Let's click on a test. You see, guys, now connection got successful. I will just create it. I can even, I will now just, I don't have anything over there, but if I upload some files and all, you see, you can get all the data that you are stored over there and get the metadata and all, right? So that's how maybe for your just demo purpose, I will do that one as well. Just to ensure that you should know, okay, this is how it works. Set, data set, and files. Let me upload some files over here. Let me drag and drop. Okay, I have uploaded the files. Now, guys, see, I just uploaded, so that's why it will not come over here. So these are some things that you need to know, right? If you are doing this activity, you should know that sometime you need to refresh those things to just make things available to you. Let me see once again now. Uh, I click on my storage account, subscription, and then I click on my storage account, right? I'm using now system assign manager identity. Test connection. It will work now, right? Now let me create it. If I just click here, you see data set. Earlier it was not coming, but now it's come. If you just refresh, and now just click on OK. Now if you run it, Okay, activity cannot be empty. Let me add any field list. Let's say I wanted to see child atoms with the help of get metadata. Let's see if this work. Okay, now guys, you see I got all the files that I have in my as a get metadata, and then again see I can do for each file do these things and all, but I just the main motive of this demo is just how to show you guys how this system assign manage identity work, right? How my ADF and my storage account now authenticate with each other with the help of system assign manage identity, right? Now I will show you guys user assign manage identity. What is that? So what it's saying in user assign manage identity, right? So system assign manage identity are dependent on the systems, whereas user assign manage identity is independent. So let's say I can explain you better via this diagram, right? So guys, see in system assign manage identity, okay, the way you see, right, you have multiple ADF in system assign manage identity, right? Basically, okay, I think this is a wrong thing. Second, guys. Just wait for a second. Okay, let me again reshare my screen. Guys, you can see my PPT, right? So in system assign manage identity, we just authenticate one ADF basically account with one storage account, right? But in case of user assign manage identity, I can authenticate. I can create a multiple store ADF pipeline, and with the help of single user assign manage identity, I can authenticate to single storage account. So it's like in AD when you go to the system assign manage identity, what you do? Let me show some diagrammatically. Data factory, right? In system assign manage identity, what you do? You create one ADF account, right? And you tie that with one storage account, and right, you tie that with your Azure storage account this way. But now guys, if I wanted to create and one system assign manage entity is allocated to only these two only assigned to these two resources. I cannot use the same system assign manage identity for in other ADF account or other storage account, right? Now let's say I wanted to create let's say I have another ADF, right? So for that one as well, I need to create another storage account. So for that one also I need to create another system assign manage identity. So instead of creating the multiple system assign manage identity, you can use basically user assign manage identity. What it do? instead of me creating multiple system assigned identity for each ADF and try to authenticate it with the storage account, you can create only single user assigned manage identity, and now you can assign that manage identity to both ADF account, right? So where is the right things? Okay. ID. Okay, I don't have anything nice for it. So what I will do user assign manage identity. So I will attach user assign manage identity to both ADF, and now the same with the help of same identity, right? I now can connect to this storage account as well and this storage account as well. So I don't need to create now multiple system assigned manage identity, right? So that's what we are trying to do now. So now let me click on my ADF pipeline. Let me just discard any existing changes there. Okay. So first of all, when you are creating, so I will be showing that demo with one of the, let's say, see now I have one ADF pipeline, right? This one, data ingestion demo V1, right? I click on a user assign. Currently I have one, but let me create the new user assign manage identity. Description demo. Okay, add. Okay, maybe what I can do, we can use the existing one only. In I think my account, they allow some restriction to create more than one since it's free tier. So it's like the moment I click on add, it should maybe it's already created. Let me try to delete and recreate it. I think that would help. Okay, now let me click on add. Let's see if okay, instead of creating from here. Okay, instead of me creating here from data factory, let me go to the manage identity. Okay, this would be, I think, better way. Let me create a manage identity, new manage identity for our demo purpose. Right, resource group, let it be demo, and the name is user user ID, user assign manage identity, user assign manage identity, right? So now let me click on a, this is now ID I'm creating. So it's as per definition, right? It's independent of resource. I can create it and I can then assign this to resources, right? So let it get create first. Okay. So I have, let me just refresh. It showed it created, but I don't see or in my resource group yet. Okay, it's come now. User assign manage identity, right? Now I have this ID is there. Now let me go to the this section, guys. Our basically data factory. I click on data factory. I click here, right? I click on a manage identity. Now I click on user assign. Let me click on add. Show me ahead. Let me just refresh. You see, after refreshing only it come, right? So just make sure, guys, when you are working, you might see something is not quickly come. So that's something I would say problematic thing I see when I'm also using Azure, right? Authentication, it takes sometime 3-4 minutes to just to reflect. So just be aware of that thing. So I am adding these things. So now to this data factory, I assign this user assign manage identity. Now how to use it, right? ID we have attached to one of the data factory. Now go to the storage account for which we wanted to give access, right? So I am now in this particular storage account. This is a manage ID only. Earlier we give system assign. Now I will give the user assign. Let click on a role, add role assignment. Okay, then storage block data contributor role. Let click on next, manage ID, select member. You see, I have system assign manage identity as well and user assign manage ID as well. I will click on my this next one, user AMID, which I have just created. Select, and I am what role I have give over here? Storage blob data contributor, right? To this user assign my identity. I will just click review and create. Now the way it would work, guys, I have assigned this ID to one ADF account, right? One ADF, whatever I have created, this one. The same way I can create this ID to multiple ADF factories that I have in my account, and they all can authenticate with the same storage account without creating any other IDs, as long as I give the system assign manage identity over here. So you see, many to one kind of relationship. Whereas in system assign manage identity, you need to authenticate both the resource one and two need to authenticate with each other with the help of one system assign manage identity, right? So now let me we created this thing. Now let me go to the ADF pipeline. Just to show you how this works. Then we will go to the storage account, continue. This is user assign manage entity, right? Subscription demo. This is a storage account I wanted to connect to. Now when you are using manage a storage user assign manage identity, right? You need to create a credential for it. You just need to create the new, click on a new credential. Choose your subscription. Use your this data factory, right? So click create, because that this what we created, right? Let me see if succeed. Okay. Sometime it take time to reflect. Okay. Let me guys do one thing. Let me refresh these things, because that's what my personal experience is. Whenever you are working on this, I manage identity and all, it would take time to reflect and other things. Uh, yeah. I'm creating the storage account, then CSV, new link service, user assign manage entity, demo, then my whatever the account name I wanted to give. As I said that we need to get the new credentials when you are using user assign manage entity, right? And then use this one. Okay, create test connection. Let's see if this succeed now. You see, it got successful. So now if I do this get metadata and all these things, I can see all the files which are available in my particular storage account. So that's a common thing. I just will not just repeat these things, right? I can see all the files and all. So this is how, guys, you can if there are multiple resources, right? You have multiple resources at your end, and like in this case, right? And instead of creating for each ADF one system assign manage identity to connect to one storage account, you can create one user assign manage identity, right? And give that user assign manage identity role. What role you wanted to give? Do you wanted to give the storage blob data contributor role? Give all give that specific role to them and assign to that particular all this ADF, right? And then with the help of that role, all this ADF can read or write data from the storage account. So that's how things happen. Whereas in case of system assign manage identity, you have one storage account and only one ADF, and that's what. If you delete that ADF, your manage identity also will go. But in this case, even if I delete my ADF account or even my or my storage account, that ID would be still there. So that's a different guys between system assign and user assign. So generally in interview people ask those things. So I thought maybe it would be good if we cover in details this part. Um, okay. Any question on these guys? System assign, user assign IDs? Guys, any questions? Okay, I'm taking it as a no questions, guys. Fine. So I have few other topic also to cover. Do you so basically notebook dependency, right? Do you want me to cover in this session or upcoming session? And maybe what we can do, I think it maybe uh, uh, we just have 10 minutes. Maybe we can take some question and maybe other topic I can cover in the start of next session itself. Yeah. Any question, guys? Something not you have understood? Okay, then if no question, maybe we can take it in next session, guys. Will in next session what we'll be doing? We'll be covering. Yes, see, if there are data in on-prem and you wanted to move that data to the cloud, the, the copy data only, right? But to your on-prem, you need to authenticate, right? And how you authenticate? With the help of integration runtime, right? So basically, copy data activity is only the way, but you need to enable the authentication between on-prem to Azure account with the help of self-hosted integration runtime, and then only you can copy data from your source to the cloud. So copy data is only the way. There are other way as well. Of course, you can write a Spark job to pull data and all. But if you go to low code based solution, the copy data activity is only the way. I hope that clear your answer question. Right. See, if you have huge data and copy data might take more time, right? I also personally face one of the challenge when I am using copy data. It was taking huge amount of time to process this data and all, right? The best way would be you can go with the if you see it's taking more time, then best way would be one of the way that I did because I had some experience on a multi-threading and all, right? I use thread pool executors and concurrency framework, okay, earlier. And with the help of Spark plus this concurrency framework, I could able to load huge amount of data from one source to another destination. So that's the one of the way maybe I think we can go for. Plus now see, uh, if you load all data, let's say there are multiple ways, right? You can do the CDC. You can just take only data that got changed and move to the your on cloud, right? That's one of the way to fine tune it. Or you can use maybe multi-threading based approach with the help of thread pool executors and concurrency framework. So that's a few way that can enhance your current thing. But that is a code based solution, guys. That's not a low code based solution. Few more enhancement. If you compress your file in the form of Parquet and process it, then that way also you can reduce your time to move data between the cloud. I hope, Kelvin, this answered your question. Yep. Uh, all right, guys. Any question then from anyone? Uh, Okay, if no, maybe we can close this session. See, in maybe in next session, what we'll do, we'll cover the notebook dependency, right? How one notebook output of one notebook we can pass to the next notebook. So that maybe what I will do, I will just pre-create few things so that we can utilize most of the time in actual things. Because in next section we'll be covering the Spark architecture and other things. So see you guys in upcoming session. All right. Thank you very much. Uh, Nice day to you all. Thanks. Stopping my recording.